गुजर जय निज मनु मुकुर सुधारी परनौ रघुबर विमल जसु जोधायक फलचारी बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरौ पवन कुमार बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि हरहु कलेस विकार। जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपीसतिहु लोक उजागर। रामदूत अतुलित बल धामा अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा। महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी। कंचन बरन विराज सुबेसा कानन कुंडल कुंचित केसा। हाथ वज्र और ध्वजा विराजे कांधे मूंज जनेऊ साजे। शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन तेज प्रताप महाजगवंदन। विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर राम काज करिबे को आतुर। प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया राम लखन सीता मन बसिया। सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा। भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे रामचंद्र के काज संहारे। लाय सजीवन लखन जियाए श्री रघुवीर हर्षि उर लाए। रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बढ़ाई तुम मम प्रिय भरतहि सम भाई। सहस बदन तुमरो जस गावे हस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावे। सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा नारद सारद सहित अहिसा। यम कुबेर दिगपाल जहाते कवि कोविद कहि सकै कहाते। तुम उपकार सुग्रीवहि कीन्हा राम मिलाय राजपद दीन्हा। तुम्हरो मंत्र विभीषण माना लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना। जुग सहस्र जो जन पर भानु लील्यो ताहि मधुर फल जानु। प्रभु मुद्रिका मेलि मुख माहि जलधि लांघि गए अक्षर जनाहि। दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते सुगम अनुग्रह तुमरे तेते। राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे होतन आज्ञा बिनु पैसारे। सब सुख लहे तुम्हारी सरना तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना। आपन तेज समारो आपे तीनों लोक हांकते कापे। भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे महावीर जब नाम सुनावे। नासे रोग हरे सब पीरा जपत निरंतर हनुमत वीरा। संकट से हनुमान छुड़ावे मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लावे। सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा। और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे सोहि अमित जीवन फल पावे। चारों जुग परताप तुम्हारा है प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा। साधु संत के तुम रखवारे असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे। अष्ट सिद्धि नवनिधि के दाता असबर दीन जान मूरति रूप राम लखन सीता सहित हृदय बसहु सुरभूप सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय उमापति महादेव की जय बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। तुम उपकार सुग्रीव ही कीना राम मिलाय राजपद दीना. This was the Chaupayi we had seen last time. We saw the story part of how Sugriva was made to run all over the world by Vali. Finally, he found shelter in Rishyamukha Parvat. That Rishyamukha Parvat happened to be right next to Kishkinda. And he searched for shelter all over the world. So it is said, the symbolic meaning of this Rishyamukha Parvat is, whenever a jiva becomes Rishi-mukha, whenever a sadhaka, a seeker, turns the mind towards the teachings of rishis, that is when finds lot of solace. And Vali running after him in all places. Vali is symbolic of our karma phalas. No matter where a person goes, this karma phala will come there to give either joy or sorrow. But satsang is one place where the sadhaka gets such deep perspectives, no karma phala looks bothering to him. It is said, if there is fire outside, we can douse it with water. But if there is agitation, fire-like agitation in the mind, no external remedy is working there. Janai bhagata, bhagata ura chandana. Goswamiji says, Bhagavan Rama devotion is such, it is like sandalwood for the heart. External sandalwood, it gives soothing to the physical body. But if somebody can do satsang, know the nature of Bhagavan, and build a relationship with the Lord, that sadhaka will be freed from the fear of karma phala. That is this Rishyamukha Parvat, where a person is doing satsang, constantly enriching the mind with deeper perspectives. That is one sadhana he does. He says, no day should go by without satsang. Duration up to our samarthya. Topic also according to our interest. But his prayer to Bhagavan is, may there be no day where I have not done satsang. Then Vali and Sugriva, all of that happens. Misunderstanding. One goes into the cave, another closes with the boulder, comes back, sits on the throne. Lot of things happen. This is where comes the topic of prarabdha and purushartha. If you just look at it at the outset, what wrong did Sugriva do for him to go through all those experiences? Vali came back, did not even give him a chance to speak. Directly started accusing him, misunderstood. Said, you wanted my throne, that is why you did this. Say, really speaking, you can't find immediate cause. But it is said, there is no result without a cause. Something we have done in the past comes to us today as our prarabdha. Prarabdha generally we say is destiny also. But what is going to happen hereafter? In that, there is lot of predominance of purushartha. It is not to say prarabdha will not affect my future. It will. But if you have to count the predominance between prarabdha and purushartha, it is said purushartha is more powerful than prarabdha. So whenever we are wanting to do certain things, and very strongly we try to get those things, and it is not working out, that time we should remember something of the past is obstructing. Not somebody else's work. Our own prarabdha, our own karma of the past is coming now to become some obstacle. Sometimes we might see we put very little effort, but everything is like happening so seamlessly. That time also we should remember something of the past is helping me accomplish this. The one who keeps track of this mathematical equation is our Bhagavan. No karma phala will go to erroneous person. Yesterday we were discussing in Bhaja Govindam, Vatula kim tava nasti niyanta. Bhagavan Shankaracharya is telling that if you are too concerned about your present, means have you forgotten this fact that there is some higher supreme power which is looking after all of us. Niyanta means Bhagavan. Meaning he has this conviction that if I have done my karma well, no karma phala will get mixed up. Right now, if I am doing the right thing, this is future, you don't have to worry. Have you all heard about Mumbai Dabbawalas? And right now, I think they're not doing as well after COVID. But when everything was good, they would deliver 5,000 tiffin carriers every day. And they had some 6 Sigma qualification or certification, with which the mix-up is almost zero. And every dabba looks the same. 5,000 dabbas in one day, nothing gets mixed up. One Mahatma Ji would say, Bhagavan is big dabba wala. Nobody's karma phala will go to anybody else. Same karma phala will come to that person. On the strength of this, he becomes nischinta. That is this prarabdha and purushartha. What we have done in the past, we can't change. So if something comes, having this conviction that nothing is out of place. If praise comes unasked, that is also okay. Criticism comes unasked. I needed this thing. This is the mindset of a sadhaka. He sees Bhagavan in each and every interaction, each and every sambandha. That is this mindset. Otherwise, if we take only purushartha, no prarabdha, then what happens is, sometimes we get frustrated very quickly. And we might end up blaming somebody else. I'll share an example, but example is only to communicate a point. Don't ask me too many details. Where did you go? Where it happened? What happened? This was during my recent India visit. I had visited one temple. And I was living there just for 1 week. This temple and the accommodation was in the same complex. You come down, go out. Now that day, I'm trying to come down from the elevator, 3rd floor to 0. 0 is not working. You come until 1, again you have to go to 3. Until 1, again to 3. I said, how am I going to get out? Then I thought I'll take the stairs. Door to the stair is closed. Only elevator you have to take. The only way to come out was, there was another entrance from 1, where there's a temple. I said, okay, at least this entrance I will go out from. I stepped out, went into that place. It was pouring heavily. One hand umbrella, another hand, one other bag, fruits was there. And temple, nobody wears shoes. So everybody started shouting, hey brahmachari, don't wear shoes, don't wear shoes. First of all, brahmachari, that too wearing shoes. So I got a little anxious. And Bhagwan's temple was there, Jagannath Bhagwan. Have you seen Bhagwan Jagannath Vigraha? Eyes are like so big. Looks as though he's looking at you. That darshan I got. Next, I remember I just kept my foot down and both legs up in the air. Pouring heavily and marble, store, no sign, nothing. And I came almost 7 stairs down. Fruit somewhere, glasses somewhere. Everybody was wondering what kind of namaskar he's doing. Such a great devotee, But people helped. I got up. Nothing happened, fortunately, nothing major. One Swamiji was sitting down. He said, Brahmachari ji, idhar aao. He said, ऐसा समझो आपका कोई पहले का पाप कर्म धुल गया. Some papa karma of the past had to get washed away. It got washed away. He said, हमारे स्वामी जी कहते थे, अगर सब्जी काटते वक्त, I'll translate, सब्जी काटते वक्त हाथ कट गया, समझो गला कटने वाला था, सिर्फ हाथ कट गया. Means while chopping vegetables, if your hand gets cut, think of it this way, that more consequences could have happened. Everything got over in a very small thing. And I tell you that perspective was so soothing. It came at the right time. Otherwise, I was ready. First to blame the elevator guy. You have only one elevator, no stairs, and you don't even have 0 where you can come out. Second blame would be, can't you put a signboard? It is slippery here. Marble temple you have built, you don't even see what is there. And third is people who shouted. If they did not, probably you could have, gone well, done your job well. What has to happen, if it has to happen, is nobody can change it. That prarabdha, if we hold on to, we will go through our life with lot of solace. People are only nimitta. Nimitta means instruments. If it doesn't come from one object, it will come from some other. It doesn't come from one person, it will come from somewhere else. Karma phala will come. But Purushartha is what we do after that. Do we live with those regrets? Do we live with those past things? Or have we decided to change our course of life? That is fully in our hand. Bhagavan doesn't say your response is also prarabdha. What has happened to you is fate, destiny. But the way I will respond to it, in that Bhagavan says you have full freedom. I have shared this example several times. If it rings a bell, well and good. If not, listen again. There was one Swamiji, his name was Chandrasekhar Bharati Swamiji, Shrangeri Mata. Swamiji has written one book where he is having a dialogue. And somebody is asking him about Prarabdha and Purushartha. And his answer was, first question whether these are two different things or the same thing. You have taken it for granted that there is something called as Prarabdha, something called as Purushartha. He said, think whether destiny and free will are two different things or the same thing appearing as two. Actually speaking, it is free will only, which is coming to us at a later point as destiny. My destiny today was my free will of the past. Whatever the choices I have made, whatever decisions I have taken. So if today I want to change something, so I have to work with whatever past decisions I have made and the new things that I have to create now. If past impressions are minimal, then new thing is easy to create. If past impressions are deep, it says give yourself a lot of time. So any goal in life which we feel we really want, our scriptures say you have the full freedom to go and achieve it. But only thing we should make sure is whether it is worth having that goal or not. See, you worked so hard to change prarabdha, accomplish that goal. And then you realize this was not my goal. It is like climbing a wall, lot of effort with a ladder, and realizing the ladder was against the wrong wall. It was the other wall you had to climb. Purana, what is the best example for this? Dhruva. One insult, he gets so upset, he says, I will do tapasya. I will get a position where nobody will ask me to step down. And he does tapasya, gets Dhruva Pada. Naradji goes to meet him later. His crown has fallen somewhere, he is weeping. He says, what am I going to do with this Dhruva Pada? Everybody else is going away and I am here. And Bhagavan was standing right in front of me. I could have asked Bhagavan. Means I could have asked for Bhagavan. Instead, this kind of desire has led me here. So that is another facet, that whenever we say, I want to change some prarabdha, we should always think whether it is worth doing that kind of effort. Because in and through that journey, we'll be again, what do they call it? Silkworm's cocoon. Getting ourselves bound in more and more things in and through that journey. Devotee is somebody who says, Bhagavan, you take care of my prarabdha. Prarabdhaya samarpitam swavapuhu. Samarpitam, he has given his body and all experiences to Bhagavan. He says, whatever you do, in that I am happy. That is the best thing, If he wants me to climb on a chair, let him. If he wants me to get down, he says, happily I will get down. That is a carefree life of a sadhaka. His example was, Chandrasekhar Bharati Swamiji, he would say, if you have hit a nail in a wall 20 times, and you forgot about that nail, you went somewhere, in your own house, ancestral house. 20 years later you came back, now you are trying to remove that nail. You pull it once, pull it twice, doesn't come. And you have forgotten that you had hit it. And you start blaming the person who has hit that nail. So I don't know what kind of people, why did they have to hit it so deep? It is not coming out. He says, what will be the response of an onlooker? He said, sir, nobody hit it. You only hit it 20 times 15 years ago. Now if you want to take out the nail, you need minimum 20 plus 1 effort. So don't give up in only 1, 2 or 3. So his point was, your Purushartha of 15 years ago is your Prarabdha today. So whatever we have done in the past, same thing comes as Prarabdha. Vedanta never wants us to feel we are victims of our past. It is possible that we are products of our past. Right? What we think, the conditions today are influenced by our past. But because it is that way, he says we are not victims. Even in ourselves, you might feel there are so many habits that we really want to overcome. Now that habit nobody else has built. We ourselves have built for ourselves. Now that if you want to change, he says Purushartha is more powerful than Prarabdha. We should not say, because of whatever reasons I am unable to do this thing. Mahatmas gives example for sadhanas. Whenever somebody comes and complains that I am unable to do my japa, unable to get up early in the morning, say, ye bahana mat banao. Don't give such kind of excuse, because your desire is not strong enough. If you really want it, you will find time for doing those things. That is Purushartha, not Prarabdha. So because God wants, I am unable to meditate. Not in that way. So that is the symbolic meaning of Sugriva's condition. What happened to him is prarabdha, but taking Sharanagati in Bhagavan, that is divine grace. Then came the portion when all the meeting happened, friendship happened, and first round of challenge between Sugriva and Vali. Sugriva goes there, challenges Vali, gets beaten up. When he asks Bhagavan, Bhagavan says, first time when you went to fight with him, you went with this abhimana, this pride that I am going to fight Vali. Whenever there is a good quality, if abhimana comes, pride comes in that good quality, that good quality is not good anymore, it becomes demonic quality. So Bhagavan's literal response was, I could not distinguish between Sugriva and Vali. Not physically. He says, when you went with this pride, you are not Sugriva anymore, you also became like Vali. That was your condition. Any good quality for that matter, whenever pride comes. We had seen the story of Naradji, where he gets pride of brahmacharya, pride of winning over kama. He says, Lord Shiva burned down kama. I not only won over kama, I did not get angry with kama. Brahmaji says, kama has to be burnt only. What you did was the erroneous thing. If kama is there, you should burn it down right away. Don't allow it to thrive. But we know how the story goes. Finally, he gets Hari Rupa, gets a monkey face, and then whole Ramayana Avatara Hetu happens. He curses Bhagavan, go down and become human being again. You will have to take support from monkeys. You will be separated from your wife. All those things he says. Then suddenly Bhagavan takes away Maya. He says, Bhagavan, what did I do? Devotee of the Lord cursed the Lord only? He says, this is the power of my Maya. You had pride of brahmacharya. Through that same good quality, I will bring you down. Bring you down means bring the pride down. So whichever abhimana we get, in any field, in that field, Bhagavan brings our abhimana down. So that is the symbolic meaning of the fight. First time when Sugriva goes, Sugriva represents sadhaka ahankara and Vali represents badaka ahankara. Badaka ahankara means that which will put an obstacle in our progress in the spiritual journey. Having pride, arrogance, anger, that was Vali. Said, nobody is here stronger than me. Sugriva is a sadhaka, all good qualities, divine qualities. But if that pride comes, he says that same Sugriva becomes Vali. First round, Bhagavan says, I will not do anything. Second is that mala he puts. That is a remembrance that I am a devotee of the Lord. Although I am calling him to fight, the one who will really fight is my Bhagavan. The one who will give me abilities to fight is my Bhagavan. So that is the symbolic meaning of the two rounds that are happening. And in between, when it is said, Bhagavan just puts his hand over Sugriva after he is hurt so badly. There also we should appreciate, whenever Jiva gets hit by karma phala, what gives solace to that Jiva is grace of the Lord. When he goes into Sharanagati of Bhagavan, that Sharanagati gives a lot of solace. Somebody who doesn't have this support will always seek support of another individual. See, without support, we cannot go through those phases. When karma phalas come, it is not only extreme karma phala, body level or anything, even mind level. Whatever those emotions might be. Devotion is that connection with the Lord where we can again reset our mind to the previous condition on the strength of devotion. That is the symbolic meaning of Bhagavan. Just putting his hand over Sugriva, all his pain goes away. Means karma phala janya dukkham goes away. That sorrow which is born through karma phala, that is taken away by the Lord. Then finally, when second round of fighting is done, Bhagavan sends the arrow from behind a tree. Ramayana, these are two scenarios. No matter how much you explain, whatever logic you give, Angadji is convinced. Second portion is the Sitaji being sent to the forest. Sitaji is convinced, no problems. People will still have a lot of questions, lot of doubts. Sometimes it is lack of Shraddha, lack of faith. Really speaking, if you have faith, we will find our own answers. But to help us find answers, we should take help of answers given by Mahatmas. So this portion where Bhagavan sends the arrow from behind is also symbolic. Vali, in addition to karma phala, he represents desire. Strong attachment, which again brings in all those qualities. Demonic qualities, what we saw, pride, anger. The root of that is kama only. Now that kama, whenever sense object comes in front, half of the power of that person goes into that sense object. What was the boon Bali had? Whoever comes in front, half of that other person's power will come to him. So even if he gets an equal match, by the time this person comes in front, Vali is 1.5 times powerful. So that's why nobody could fight Vali, he was so powerful. So desire is just like that. Whichever thing we have weakness for, as long as it is away, we are good. Moment that sense object comes in front, half of our power goes into that sense object. So it is said that desire we should not fight from the front. That desire has to be killed by sending an arrow from behind. Meaning what? Keep that sense object away. Don't say, I'm going to face that sense object, enjoy it, then grow out of that desire. Until today, we are yet to find an example. Although people say, oh, what is wrong in having these desires? Can't we all fulfill those desires and then grow out of it? He said, we can, as long as we take the dharmic way. Our scriptures, majority of the scriptures are fulfilling desires only. Entire karma kanda. They say, if you want good health, do this yajna. If you want good drinks, good food, Vajapeyi yajna. Different yajnas are there for different desires only. But there our scriptures say, the purpose is not to have more desires. Purpose is to fulfill them in a dharmic way, such that we grow out of it. And for a sadhaka who wants quick progress, for that sadhaka it is said, finish that desire like Bhagavan finished Vali from behind a tree. And as we know, Vali never had any problem. He said, Bhagavan, my own karma phala is coming back in this way. Bhagavan reminds him also that you took Sugriva's wife away, all those other things which you have done. This is what is coming as a result of that. I am not partial against Sugriva or Vali. And he also says, last minute we look at Bhagavan, it is such a great blessing. So many people, we don't know when is our last moment. He says, here you are standing right in front, may my mind not go anywhere else, may it be only at your lotus feet. One was our Vali, another was our Bhishma. When Bhagavan goes to meet Bhishma, when he is on the bed of arrows, before he does Vishnu Sahasranama composition, He says, Bhagavan, you stand right where you are and smile a little bit. This is my Ishta Rupa that I worship, and this is how I want to give my life. This is how I want to end my life, not thinking about something of the world again. So they were such great devotees who accomplished the main purpose of life. So that is this Vaali Prasanga. Different facets. One was Prarabdha and Purushartha. And second part was this. How a good quality, if it has Abhimana, becomes as good as a bad quality. Rama Milaya Rajapada Dinha. That Rajapada Bhagwan gave to Sugriva. Next prasanga is of Vibhishanji. Very nice one. Tumharo mantra Vibhishan mana Lankeswar bhaya sab jag jana Tumharo mantra Vibhishan mana Lankeswar bhaya sab jag jana Shri Ram Jaya Jaya Rama Shri Ram Jaya Jaya Rama Shri Ram Jaya Jaya Rama. There is one prasanga where Bhagwan Rama tells Hanumanji is twice as dear to him than Lakshmanji. He says, Hanumanji, you are twice as dear to me than Lakshmanji. When Lakshmanji is asked, it is that one of the reasons he gives is this one. Tumaro mantra Vibhishana mana. Hanumanji's power of convincing is so powerful that he can go to enemy's territory and get the faith of somebody who has never seen Bhagwan. You see, that is his conviction in Rama. That is the power of his speech. Vakpatutvam. And second example he gives is Sita ji. It is said when Maricha comes and takes Bhagwan Rama away, Lakshmanji was there protecting Sita ji. But then Sita ji, because Maricha makes sound of Bhagwan Rama, she says, Lakshmanji, you go and save Bhagwan Rama. Lakshmanji says, Bhagwan doesn't need our help. He will take care of himself. This is Maricha only. But then Sita ji scolds Lakshmanji, says lot of harsh words. So much so that she ends up even doubting Lakshmanji's intentions. That is what Lakshmanji reminds later. He says, I being in Chitrakoot, staying with Sita ji all through, still could not win her faith. And here is Hanumanji, who went there for the first time, spoke to Sita ji, and he could win her faith. He says that is the power of the purity of Hanumanji, that is the power of his tapasya. So this is the portion when Hanumanji goes to Lanka, and he looks for Sita ji all over, does not find her. Finally he comes wondering where to go, thinking what to do. Bhagwan, the one who is doing Bhagwan's work, it is said all indications and guidance comes from the Lord at the right time. So Hanumanji, who is thinking about what to do next, he sees one house which has a tulsi plant outside and the insignia of bow and arrow. He says if somebody is decorating their house in this way, that person has to be a sadhu. Now you see Hanumanji's greatness. He doesn't doubt. He doesn't say, maybe this is some Maya of Rakshasa again. Safe trap, Whichever devotee comes, by mistake also, he will get trapped here. He doesn't say that. He says, this is some sadhu. And even if I have to do some hata, insistence, I will still go and forge a friendship with this person. Even if I have to go out of the way, I will go and make friendship with this person. Because it is said, friendship with a sadhu never goes in vain. Means right perspectives you will get. There will be never any harm coming from that. And right when he is thinking, debating whose house it is, what it is, Vibhishanji walks out taking Bhagavan Rama's name. He says if somebody is waking up with Ram Nama, that person has to be a sadhu. What Nama do we wake up with ordinarily? If it is Bhagavad Nama, very good. If not, we should strive for it. Otherwise, it is our email. Something we have to do, some message we have to check. It is said the thought with which we go to sleep, it is the same thought with which we get up. So one of the beautiful sadhana is doing some kind of nama japa before going to bed. How many times we do, which nama japa we do is all our freedom. Whoever is our Ishta Devata, and very simple. Keep it such that we can do it every day. If you put too many restrictions, I have to take a shower and sit facing in east direction on a particular asana, 2 days will be inspired. Third day something will happen, it will fall apart. So all the external things are okay. One of our Swamiji would say, sadhana wo hai jo saral hai. Sadhana is that which is very, very simple and which we can do effortlessly. So such was our Vibhishanji, woke up taking Bhagavan Rama's name. Both great devotees of the Lord meet each other. Hanumanji is asking Vibhishanji, how are you living here? He says, I am living just like the tongue lives amidst the teeth. All the Rakshasas are doing different things. And here I am somehow or the other managing. Hanumanji, again with his words, built so much of faith in Vibhishanji. Because Vibhishanji had this self-doubt. He said, I don't know whether Bhagavan Rama will accept me or not. If I give a list of all the things I have done as Rakshasa, it is not something I am proud of. You know what is the meaning of the word Vibhishana, right? One whose appearance is very frightful. Bhishana. Very frightful appearance. That was Vibhishanji. He says, I am not very proud of all these things I have done as a demon. Hanumanji says, at least you are close to a human form. Look at all of us, we are monkeys. And it is said, whoever takes our name in the morning doesn't get food on that day. That is humility of Hanumanji. Gives his own example, and he says, Bhagavan accepted all of us, gave us so much love. Why are you doubting he will not accept you? Later when Vibhishanji comes, he quotes this line from Hanumanji's dialogue. He says, I remember Hanumanji's words. On the strength of that only I have come to you, Bhagavan. I don't even know what is going to happen. So Hanumanji thinks Vibhishanji is the greatest devotee. Why? Because amidst all Rakshasas, he is living and doing sadhana. Whenever we feel we cannot do sadhana, we should remember Vibhishanji. I also feel sometimes when children go to universities, right? One of the fear they have is, oh, here everything was good. There I don't know what kind of company I will get. It is that just in Lanka there was one Vibhishanji. In every place there will be some good sadhakas. Our job is to identify them through the indicators. And even if you have to go out of the way to forge a friendship, he says, please go and do that. There will be no harm with such kind of a friendship. So Hanumanji thinks Vibhishanji is the greatest devotee. Vibhishanji is thinking Hanumanji is the greatest devotee. He says, just for Bhagwan's work, here is a devotee who has crossed 100 miles of ocean. Nobody can do such a thing except a great devotee of the Lord. So like this, both of them are reveling in the name of the Lord. They do Ramakatha. Whole night goes by. Goswamiji writes in Ramcharitmanas, Dawn broke while taking Ramanama. Means while they were doing this Ramakatha, sunrise happened. It is said in a sadhaka's life also, sunrise should happen in the same way. Not being too anxious about when will things work out in my life. I say, Laga raho re bhai, teri banata banata ban jaye. I say, stay on the right path. When it will happen, nobody will know. How the bud blossoms into a flower. Point out one instance. You say, you cannot. Just exposed to the sun, whatever has to be done, everything will be taken care of. Lankeswara bhai sab jaga jana. Although Ravana was so powerful, everybody knew the power of Ravana, still Hanumanji had the strength to bring Vibhishanji out from Ravana and make him surrender to Bhagwan Rama. Now this portion is from Sundarkaand. In Sundarkaand, everything is beautiful. If you just look at other Kanda, right, we know the meaning right away. Bal Kanda means Bala Charitra of Bhagwan. Then Ayodhya Kanda means when he spent time going away from Ayodhya and so on. Aranya Kanda is time spent in forest. This is very Sundarkaand. Sundarkaand means when a jiva does Sharanagati to Ishvara. When the jiva recognizes his master and sincerely surrenders to that altar, that is the most beautiful moment. So in entire Sundarkaand, there are 3 different Sharanagatis. First Sharanagati is Hanumanji Sharanagati. When he meets Bhagwan Rama first time. That is Satvik Sharanagati. Wholehearted, there is nothing more he is asking. Satvik Sharanagati. Second Sharanagati is Vibhishanji's. And Vibhishanji himself says, Bhagwan, when I came to you, I had some desire in my heart. And possibly it was desire for kingdom of Lanka. Because really speaking, one who was running Lanka was Vibhishanji. Ravana was most of the time indulgent, intoxicated in his power. Kumbhakarna was sleeping. The one who was running the show was Vibhishanji. And somewhere he felt, all the work I am doing, and king is Ravana. So he says, this vasana I had inside, but Bhagwan seeing you, even that has gone away. But Bhagwan says, you came with this, now I want to give you Lanka. Rajyabhisheka he does even before crossing the ocean of Vibhishanji. That is called as Rajasik Sharanagati. Third one is the Samudra Devata, who comes under Sharanagati. Until Bhagwan takes the bow and arrow, aims at that Samudra, he is not coming. So it is said Jiva also does Sharanagati in 3 ways. One is sincere Sharanagati. He says, Bhagwan, I have seen whatever I have to see in life. I am not seeking anything more now. I want you and you alone. I don't want something through you. That is Satvik. Rajasik is, Bhagwan, I am not there yet. Still I have so many things. Please accomplish these things for me. That is why I have come to you. Third one is Rajasik. Until Bhagwan takes the stick. Gopala, he doesn't take the stick only for cows. Even for jivas, to discipline. He says some things will be there which will make this person seek some higher support. That is called as tamasic Sharanagati. So Ramanujaacharyaji, he has given a beautiful verse on Sharanagati. He says there are 6 different facets. All of you are ready for that verse? Okay, every facet is worth reflecting upon. First he says, first step in Sharanagati is Anukulyasya Sankalpaha. Whatever is good, whatever values are there, this sadhaka has a strong desire to bring those values in oneself. Anukulyasya Sankalpaha. Whatever Bhagavan loves, he says, I will put forth all effort to bring those qualities in me. Isn't it how we do even for general people? Whomever we love, we will think, whatever that person likes, I will do the same thing. That is Anukulyasya Sankalpaha. Second is Pratikulyasya Varjanam. Whatever is unconducive, whatever is erroneous in my personality, that he is putting forth effort to let go. Anukulyasya Sankalpaha, Pratikulyasya Varjanam. Rakshishyati iti Vishwasaha. That if I ask Bhagavan's help, he will protect. This firm faith he has developed. Whatever I am asking from Bhagavan, he will give in the best way that he thinks that he is having conviction in. That is called as Rakshishyati iti Vishwasaha. Goptrutva Varanam Tatha. Goptrutva Varanam means wholehearted surrender and seeking Bhagavan wholeheartedly. Anukulyasya Sankalpaha, Pratikulyasya Varjanam, Rakshishyati iti Vishwasaha, Goptrutva Varanam Tatha. 4 done. Goptrutva Varanam means if I seek Bhagavan's support, I am going to seek wholeheartedly. I am not having 5 different supports in life. Only one support, that is my Bhagavan. Just like Draupadi asked for Bhagavan's help. She asked from everybody there. Nobody could give. Then she says, Hari Sharanam. Something like Prahladji asked from Bhagavan. That is called as Goptrutva Varanam Tatha. 5th one is Atma Nikshepa. Atma Nikshepa means to throw. Atma Nikshepa means to throw oneself at Bhagavan's feet. Atma Nikshepa. And 6th one is Karpanye. Karpanye means not seeing any other solution. Karpanya dosha upahata swabhavaha. He says, I am not seeing any other solution now. I just want you and you alone. I am seeking that kind of support from you, Bhagavan. Atma Nikshepa Karpanye Shadvida Sharanagati. These are the 6 limbs of Sharanagati. Again, can we go through all 6? First one is Anukulyasya Sankalpaha, Pratikulyasya Varjanam, Rakshishyati iti Vishwasaha, Goptrutva Varanam Tatha, Atma Nikshepa Karpanye Shadvida Sharanagatihi. Now once you have written this, we have to again go back and see where am I right now on this journey of Sharanagati. Have I started with the first step where I really want Anukula things to come in me? Am I putting forth effort in the second step where I want to remove those things which are unconducive? Then all other steps, Rakshishyati iti Vishwasaha, Goptrutva Varanam Tatha, so on. Whenever Mahatmas give these steps, that is what they expect us to do. Memorizing shloka is one thing. Remembering what these 6 things are, that is another. But really sitting back and reflecting, if I want to have Sharanagati towards the Lord, where is my coordinate right now? Is it on 1? Is it on 2? Or is it 0 right now where I'm trying to get on 1? That is also okay. That is also okay, as long as we appreciate where we are. Journey will only start from the place where we are. Destination might be wonderful. Sharanagati all of us want. I hope so. Whenever we hear life of devotees, this thought comes. Oh, they had so much of Sharanagati, so much of carefree life. When will I reach there? What to talk about all of us? Goswamiji has written so many compositions with this bhavana. Kabohu ki rahani rahonga. He lists qualities of a saint and is saying, when will I live like a saint? Who is this? Goswami Tulsidas ji. Such an evolved soul. Santa Shiromani he is. But his bhavana is, when will I live life of a saint? When will I have Sharanagati to Bhagavan? Mind keeps running in the world over and over again. He says that Sharanagati if somebody wants, what is the path? Roadmap. He says start with Anukulasya Sankalpaha. This is from Ramanujaacharyaji. He has given this verse. Okay. Other one is simple one, but I think we'll continue next. It might take a little longer. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.